Welcome to the second episode of the Leader's Voice series. It's really an inside out perspective into the life of leaders. And the main aim of the series is to amplify the voice of leaders who are extremely successful in their field and who also make time for their inner mastery. For me, the hypothesis is really that inner mastery leads to outer success. So, with this, we are aiming to showcase that the in this world, all professionals who have sustained their success, it has happened due to some inner work or inner mastery work that they have done. And today's guest in this episode is Satheesh Kumar. Welcome, Satheesh, to this space and to this episode.
Hi, Deepa. Thank you so much for having me here.
Lovely, lovely. So happy to see you again in this way. And congratulations to the numerous awards you've been winning from the last year till this week,
Yeah,
actually.
last 1 year. Yeah,
Yeah,
last
it's
1 month has
really,
been three
yeah,
awards. Yeah.
yeah. It shows how much of work you have done with your team and how you have led from the front. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. To share a little bit about Satish Kumar. Uh, so, So Satish is the Deputy General Manager HR and he specializes in human resources and organization development. He is a people development professional with over 15 years of experience in IT, automobile, and development sectors. Currently leading the human resources and organization development function at Srinivasan Services Trust, which is the CSR arm of TVS Motor Company. He's based in Chennai and he has held positions of lead HR business partner and lead performance management at TVS Motor Company Limited. Now, the way I know him is he being a lifelong learner. And being a lifelong learner, and with the intention of engaging in professional learning, he has acquired numerous certifications in OD, in Hogan Assessments, Belbin, Appreciative Inquiry Assessment Centers, just to name a few. How I also know him, he has personally engaged in self work for several years with numerous coaches and therapists. And my association, with Satish has been, I think, over 8, 9 years,
Eight,
or
nine
maybe
years.
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
and I met him in a session
Conference.
in NHRD
Yeah.
Hosur, where I was leading a session, and that's how we got to know each other. And immediately there was a connect. I could see the spark in him, and and from there on to what I see him as a wonderful, fine human being and a professional, it's amazing to see. And thank you, Satish, for being a part of this episode.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Deepa. I'm so grateful for you and all my gurus who have helped me in what I'm today. And it's just a beginning.
Absolutely.
It's a long way to go.
Yes,
Thank you.
yes, yes. And that's why I call you a lifelong learner. You
Absolutely.
will never stop.
Yeah, I will never stop.
Yeah, absolutely. So jumping straight into this topic. So I personally believe that inner mastery leads to outer success. So success, if it has to be sustained and unlimited, and you have to be unstoppable, then some bit of inner work and reflection, contemplation, engaging in workshops or whatever, in whatever way, is very essential. So I would like you to share what are your initial thoughts on this.
So, so Deepa, as you said, I started my inner work probably about 10 years back. And I strongly believe that that is one of my main sources of motivation. I mean, forget about the success which I had, that's different. But then to keep me going, that is the most important motivation. In fact, when I came to you initially about 7, 8 years back, my question was, "Who am I?" And
Yeah.
that's where the search started. And I think that's a very powerful place to start with. I've never got an answer for it, but now the search has gone deeper, and it has not only helped me to understand myself better, to accept myself better, but I was able to uh, help others who been with me, whether it is my family or my team, organization, in every possible place. So, as you said, in all this, doing self work is the most important value that I have seen,
Yes.
and which has helped me throughout.
Yeah.
To the extent that, if I don't do anything related to myself for about 6 months, then I start feeling something is not right. Then I go start searching and start enrolling myself, and that's the pattern that I've been having for the past few years.
Yeah.
um, yeah, that's how it is helping me.
Yes. Beautiful. Beautiful. So, can you share, examples from your personal professional life, uh, where you had leadership challenges, challenges at work or in terms of a dilemma, and the work that you had done on yourself, on clarifying your thoughts, helped you decide?
Yeah. So, in my current role or in the previous role, there have been always a challenge of making the stakeholders understand the uh, value of uh, say, for example, learning and development. Because generally that is an area where people don't see the results immediately, but then
Yes.
it helps in the long run. Okay.
Yes.
So whenever I wanted to pursue this, it's not. It takes a lot of uh, effort to make people understand that it's important for them,
Yes.
especially the learners themselves. That's a,
Yes.
that's a great challenge that I have faced myself, and how my self work has helped us. Whenever I face such challenges, when I go back to my coach, when I go back to my sessions, I reflect on this, and then one point comes to me that believe in what you're doing. Okay,
Mm.
because a lot of times that self belief goes off,
Yes.
because you just get uh, you know uh, suppressed by all the views around you, and all the pressures around you. But then it's like you go back to your core and connect yourself. So what self work means to me is the connection that I have with myself. So in fact, with one of my coaches, what I found, I gave it a name to it is also, which is called a Shakti for me. So that is a place where I connect back and then say that trust on what you're doing. And
Yeah.
it doesn't matter if nobody else trusts on that. That's okay. They will understand whenever they can understand. But
Yes.
just trust yourself and go on with it. And it has always helped me that whenever I did that and I kept on doing it, people have started seeing the results after a few years, not even
Mm.
months. After a few years, they have seen, they've started seeing it. And what has helped me to sail through those years is this inner connect.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that is something which is very strong for me. There used to be times where I used to feel so lonely that nobody is able to understand what I'm saying. So what to do? So it is, even in those worst times, it is the our inner core which helps us to keep going.
Yeah. And I would like to acknowledge you for being so vulnerable here, because this is the truth. As you climb the ladder, it is lonely.
Yeah.
And at times you find yourself alone. And that is when this inner connect, what I'm hearing you say is that inner connect has helped you to find your answers, and then take decisions or convince the management, or just believe that what you're doing is correct and move on. Yeah, beautiful. And you're now seeing the results of it over time.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, yeah.
In
So what's
fact,
the secret of all these awards?
so yeah, so in fact I was just coming to that. So it is the work that it's not me, it's my team, because it is a teamwork. So all this is the combined teamwork that we had put in the past few years, and all the difficulties that we have gone through it. The result is what we are seeing now, but the work has happened over the past 5 6 years. So again, what is so important in all this is we all stuck together as a team, and we believed in what we were doing.
Yeah.
So that is the most important thing, and that uh, belief in our own vision is what has taken us so far.
Yeah. Yeah. Lovely. Believe in yourself at your
And in the
level,
team.
and the team believing in the vision.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful. So it almost seems like your team really trusts you and is willing to be together with you.
Yeah, absolutely. So it starts from a leader, from who inspires us, who gives us that freedom to try out in spite of all the failures. It's like almost every week we'll have some failure, but then we'll be like, it's okay, tomorrow will be a better day. We just keep going on in that flow, and we never expect that something like this will happen. We just keep trying, and then someday it happens. It happens. So
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
so that's how we
Yeah.
approach it.
Absolutely. So, like any normal person, any other person, I'm sure you would have those times when you have dilemmas and overthinking, a lot of thoughts, sometimes losing connection with your core self, as you rightly said. So, what do you do at that time?
Okay, so couple of things which I do as my regular practice is I I have my regular routine of physical exercises and my yoga. So that happens regularly. So even if I'm on travel or whatever it is, at least once in a week I connect it, and I think that connection through those regular practices is something which is very very important.
Yes.
And then whenever I lose connect, as you said, I connect to one of my uh, coaches or mentors. So that conversation helps, because I always believe we understand ourselves through others. Right? We can't understand ourselves just being with ourselves. It always a conversation helps, and I love conversations a lot. And what I've seen is, as much I've learned about myself through my coaches and mentors, people also come to me. In that process is also a greater learning for me, because uh, as we all know, a coach learns more than the coachee himself. So that openness, that candidness in the conversations, that is the most important thing. In fact, me and my manager used to have a lot of such candid conversations whenever things are not going right, and that empathy itself is a very very important motivation.
Yeah. Hmm. So, what I hear you say is that you have a routine, you have a rhythm in place, and you
Yeah,
strive to follow that rhythm, and that helps you, keep yourself afloat. And when it's gone off, then you have conversations with your mentors, coaches to get you back to track.
absolutely.
That's what I hear. Yeah. Which ritual or rhythm has served you best?
Okay, one thing, as I told you previously, is that every year I will have at least two uh, two self work journeys. I've been to different schools, so whatever be the school, I used to have at least um, two sessions. So that sort of again connects me back to the core, um, puts me off the regular routine, and start thinking on my essence, because I've also done some work on my essence and how do I connect to the essence. And one another important thing, I do visioning every year. I've been doing that for the past
Yeah.
5 years, I think, with you, of course, thanks
Yes.
to you. So that visioning has been helping me in a great extent, because I could see that even a few minutes back when I was going through whatever I wrote in 2022, didn't get manifested in 22, not all of it, but it got manifested in 23, and some got in 24. So that visioning and that positivity helps a lot.
Mm, mm.
So
Yeah.
so that is a ritual which I do every year without
Mm,
fail,
mm.
uh, and and that effect is huge. And
Yeah.
one more thing which I want to tell you is very. early, probably about 7, 8 back itself, I got introduced to appreciative inquiry through my guru, uh, and which is a fantastic tool from the
Yeah.
positive psychology. So, he sort of made me believe in positivity so much that even in the worst times, I might go negative for a few hours, but then the positivity will come back. So that also, that training and that mindset also is a huge
Yeah.
motivator.
Beautiful. So I'm hearing that living intentional and living positive consciously is a
Yeah,
way of life for you,
correct.
and that has served you well
Absolutely.
as a rhythm.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. As I listen to you, what comes to me is a lot of corporate professionals and leaders I meet, and they say, I have to achieve success. So I have a 12-hour day or a 14-hour day, and I don't have time to exercise. I can't wake up early. I feel drained. What do you have to tell, such leaders? Because you have been a corporate professional for so many years. What's your thought on this?
I'm also still in the journey, so definitely not anywhere. So, but what I do is, uh, I've realized that if I spend time on myself, my results also become better. I again comes back to the intent. So I've got that belief very, very strongly. So when I know that I spend my 30 minutes in the morning on my exercise, on my routine, that days I'm able to achieve more.
Wow.
I'm able to be more productive.
Okay, you
Okay,
see that
and
connection.
I see that connection. Yes, I see the connection. And there were days when I've not done, naturally my productivity comes down.
Ah, okay.
So I've seen that. So I was also lazy initially. Even now it happens, but then I keep that intent very strongly that I will spend definitely this 20 minutes irrespective of where I am and what am I doing. So that definitely helps. So this is on the physical part. Then on the mental part again, because this is just not enough. So that's also required. So that is where these self work sessions or
Yeah,
coaching journeys or any other such
yeah,
things that helps. And I again feel that as well, if I don't do it, say like for 4 5 months at a stretch, then I feel like something is bottling up and I'm not venting it out.
yeah,
So that feeling
yeah,
comes,
yeah, yeah.
and it starts bothering me. So
Hmm.
then I take action on it immediately in the next month or so.
Hmm.
I go back and enroll
Hmm.
myself and do it. And even this has been a difficult thing because there have been um, views that um, I'm spending too much on my self work,
Yeah,
and that's not good because not many people understand that. So again it becomes a question of you have to explain why you're doing this. You have to prove that why you're doing this. So I've gone through that journey as well.
yeah, yeah,
And that too to people who are very close to you, when you have to do it becomes very tiring.
yeah,
Okay?
yeah,
Then I've stopped doing that. And
yeah,
I was doing it for a few years. Then I stopped doing it, saying, see, this is what is required for me. I don't care if somebody has a different way of doing it. That's fine, but this works for me. So I'll do that. So that acceptance and not wanting to prove to someone is another uh, um, level of possibly I'll say maturity that I have come
yeah,
in these
yeah,
years of
yeah, yeah.
work.
Yes. It's probably living at another level of consciousness inside.
Consciousness. Yeah. Right.
Yes. So what I'm hearing you say is that you connect your everyday living to your purpose.
Correct.
And how does this activity, like half an hour that I spend in exercise, how does it connect to my purpose? If it does, then I do it. And that's how you pull yourself back to do your rhythms. And you've seen a connection between your rhythms and your energy and productivity.
True.
Yeah. And this is exactly what my hypothesis is.
Hmm.
And that's why I meet leaders, because I sense it. I sense it for myself as well.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, you're actually affirming what I believe in. And your own belief is very strong about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So what is the now? I also meet a lot of corporate professionals who are living in a depressive state, and yet they pull themselves on, or who have illnesses, but they say work comes first, and and probably they will not go for a health checkup, or they will not care about the body.
Mhm.
Mindset is a farther thing. First is the
Mhm.
body, and when it's an absolute breakdown, when there's no choice, they will show up in a clinic when it's too late. Have you observed that as an HR professional, as an OD person, managing the culture of your organization? Have you observed that? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, of course, definitely. There have been a lot of instances like that whom I've seen in our own teams as well. Uh, we have to do a lot of work on that. It's definitely a lot of work to do. What I tell myself is, unless I practice it, I cannot go and preach it.
Correct.
So I've still not come to a level where I can tell it to others. So I'm still in that journey. Yet what we do is, of course, we have our own routines of regular health checkups done by the company itself, instead of
Yeah.
the employee doing it. So we do things like that, which is very very starting place. There are much more things to do. Uh, but then those are done by the organization. But what I see, for at least for myself and my team, is, uh, I tell my team that in whatever time we are working, we should be fully productive, and then when we are off, we are off fully,
Mhm.
and don't think about the work when you're off.
Mm.
So that's a very very important learning that I had for myself.
Yeah.
That when you think about uh, work all the time, then it starts bothering you, and it starts affecting you
Yeah.
at
Yeah. Yeah.
various levels.
Yeah.
So that's what you're saying, as it could get converted to depression or any other
Yes.
illnesses,
Yes.
and so on.
Yes. Yes.
And that is why you need a rhythm also. You
Yes.
definitely need to have
Exactly.
a rhythm for everyone. I mean, as whatever they can have, but have a rhythm. That's
Yes.
that's very important.
Very true. So what you're saying is that there must exist some boundaries. There
Yeah,
is a cutoff, and then you step in from one world of work and performance into your own world, which could be relaxing, chilling, being with family, or any other thing.
anything. Yes.
Yes, absolutely. And this is a miss that I see even when I coach leaders,
Mhm.
that there is a lot of insecurity. If I don't see that one message or one last email before I sleep, then I might just miss out. And what will happen? There's this fear, lurking inside. And that's also coming from the lack of reflection, contemplation, and knowing what really is important to me. So, what's your thought?
Um, I'll not say I'm completely away from that. I'm
Yeah.
also there. Uh, Not very much addicted to that, but yet I would say that definitely we need to disconnect,
Yeah.
because what I've seen is, when I disconnect and then I come back, I'm more refreshed and rejuvenated.
Yes.
That I've always seen when I finish my yoga sessions or meditation sessions, when I completely disconnect for those 2 hours, and then
Yeah.
I come back,
Yeah.
I'm able to see it much more uh, beautifully.
Yes. Yes.
I'm able to see the same situation in a more holistic manner.
Yes.
So that definitely changes the view.
Yes. Yes.
So it is
Absolutely.
important to do it,
To cut off
to cut off.
and pick it
Absolutely.
up,
Pick it up.
and trusting that you'll
Continue.
be more productive anyways.
Anyways. True.
Yes, yes. So I hear you say that you live intentional, you live conscious, and yet you are a human being, and there are times you slip, but you have installed practices and ways to pick it up so that you can connect to your essence, you can connect to your core, and then come back, into action. So there is this element of focusing on your being as well as on your doing. That's what I'm hearing.
Yeah.
Yeah, lovely, lovely. Amazing. There's so many insights that I am gathering from this conversation and from your work, your inner work, and also your success that you have manifested for yourself. Is there any piece of advice that you would like to share with all the readers who will be watching this episode shortly?
Sure, Deepa, I think one thing which I wanted to tell was, for me, one of when I started my self work initially, one of the major problems that I had was to accept myself for what I am.
Mm.
That was one major area I always used to discount myself. So my pattern was to please others, anyone, starting from parents to teachers to managers to all friends and everyone. So that has been my pattern. So one of the most important things that I have learned in my journey is to accept for what I am, and to, as you said, forgive myself. That's the most important thing. Even if I look at my journals, everywhere I would have written that, yeah, now I acknowledge myself, I accept
Okay.
myself, and and be okay about it. And that is the most important thing uh, in my entire journey. And that has helped me to transform my whole mindset itself.
Mm.
Because once that comes, then everything else, we start seeing it in a very beautiful way, because you start accepting yourself. So that's the most important thing. And the second important thing is closely related to that, that listening to our inner self. That's another, because there are always voices which keeps coming to us from various places, because we've been conditioned like that. And the more and more we deepen our practices, which I've learned from you and from many other gurus, is that how to listen to our inner self. So that is another important part, because when we listen to our inner self, it is never wrong. Okay, but it takes a lot of courage to do that. So that's something which I've done very consciously, uh, choosing my roles, choosing my career choices, even the projects, what I've done. Everywhere I've done that. And in many cases, it's against the popular opinion.
Mm.
So again, you need to have trust on yourself to continue to do that. So it comes back to that.
Yeah, yeah. Comes back to against that deep self-belief
See
that you
self.
talked about at the initial
Sure.
part of the conversation. Yeah, I so resonate with what you're saying. I so resonate. It's making me feel a deep sense of peace and silence as I listen to you speak this. Yeah. Thank you so much, Satheesh, for being here and sharing your thoughts on inner mastery leading to success in the outside. And one of the biggest takeaway for me is, how can I listen in, how can I stay in deep connection with myself, and even if I lose connection, say this is who I am at this point of time, deepen the connection, restore the connection, and move on.
Oh, absolutely.
And that's the biggest takeaway that I'm receiving with this conversation. And I really hope that all those who listen to this will have this and many other reflections. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Deepa, for having me here. You've been one of my greatest motivators throughout my self journey, along with all my other gurus. And I think this is a very important message that people will resonate with,
Yeah.
and they take along. And we will continue our exploration as well.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you for being a part of my purpose. Yeah, that's the most important thing. And to the listeners, I am very passionate about inner mastery leading to outer success, because this is a very strong belief that I have, and it's also a striving for me to bring it in my life. So when you listen to this, please share your thoughts, your opinions, and what your takeaways are, so that we really know that what you're listening into and what we could bring in the future episodes. Thank you very much. Thank you, Satheesh. Thank you, all of you. And stay tuned for more such episodes.